Hello and welcome to this short how-to video on what to do if the buttons on your NCE handset stop responding. So it's the same as equal with the power cab as it is with the Pro cab, and what you'll find sometimes is that you press the button, you get no response off the handset. You've got to hold it down to actually get a button pressed to actually register. This is not to be confused with the issue whereby things like the direction key and the 4-speed dials stop responding, but everything else works. That's to do with the handset being put into yard mode rather than normal mode, and that's something we can cover another time. The issue with the buttons not working is not uncommon for a device like this. Pocket calculators, TV remote controls quite often suffer from this, although quite often with TV remotes and calculators also the fact that the batteries are running flat, but in this case it's purely down to effectively wear and tear, and the same will happen with any manufacturer's handsets. But in this case we're just concentrating on NCE. Tools for the job, very simply with this, is one screwdriver, Phillips, somewhere to put all your screws when you come out, some cotton wool buds, and what we call isopropyl alcohol or a switch cleaner. So first thing to do is unplug the handset, so we know it's no power going to it, and turn it over, and what you'll notice on the back are 9 screws that are all there, all need to be removed. So there we have it, all the screws have been removed, and we can simply lift the handset off. Next thing to do, obviously we've got the circuit board here, is we can lift this off, turn it over, and as you can see on this handset there's all these little black marks from the insert on the membrane, as you can see here. And all we do with these is they simply get a bit of IPA onto the end of the cotton wool bud, and clean them off. Obviously you can see which buttons are used the most due to the amount of muck and carbon that has been deposited on them. So this one here is a select loco select accessory, got the select loco over here. You see the amount of muck coming off the contact pads there. One thing that has also happened with this one, probably due to age or fame, that previous over tightening is little spigots have come out, have broken off the bottom there. It does occasionally happen. It can be down to fatigue of the plastic, or the fact that, say, previously they've been over tightened, and once you come to undo them it breaks the plastic. Whilst we've got that part, might as well just give the lens or the LCD display just a quick clean while we've got it out. Get rid of the muck, because you get into areas which you normally can't do when the handset's apart. And with the membrane, what we'll do is we'll also give those edges a bit of those contacts a bit of a clean as well, because if there's any loose bits of dirt on there, it's only going to go back onto the contacts there, which is no point whatsoever. Right, so what we do to put it back together again is basically do the reverse of taking it apart. So take the front plate, front half of put the membrane back in, put the PCB back in, and put the back on. And what we'll do initially is just purely put a single screw in the centre there to hold the two pieces together, and give it a quick test. So we plug the handset back in, and we'll find that direction key isn't quite as responsive as it used to be, and nor is the 4, but the other buttons are fine. It might simply be that we need to fully put all the screws in to make sure we've got a good contact, so we'll do that now. So screw it all back in again. We'll plug the handset in and see what occurs. So direction key, yeah, is still a bit iffy, and the 4 is still a bit hit and miss. So what we'll do is we'll get the replacement membrane and fit that instead. Now, one thing you'll notice, the difference between the old and the new membrane, is that there is a pattern, a hash pattern on the back side of the buttons, whereas on this older one, that pattern has pretty much disappeared and gone, which is a good indication that it's worn away. So again, we'll pop that in, put the two halves together. Again, we'll just put the single screw in the centre. Plug the handset back in. What we find is that is working a lot better. Same with the direction key up here. Block escape, there we go. Emergency stop is also quite an important one to do. And therefore, all we'll then do is refit the screws. And what we should do is just carefully tighten these up. Don't want them too tight, otherwise what may happen is the spigots internally may break when you're doing them up, or when you come to undo it next time. So as we found these two at the bottom here. So just give them a little tighten up, and that's that all done. So one final test. Plug the handset in, wait for it to load up. Let me see, buttons are working quite happily. Direction key, momentum, you should leave that one all alone. Option keys, working quite happily. Select accessory, select loco, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we just give it a quick test through here. We can see generally most things are working quite happily. And there we have it. One refurbished handset with all the buttons now working.